Hey everyone, Eileen and Allie here. Welcome back to the Radiant Riot, where sometimes we are radiant
And sometimes we're a riot.
and sometimes we're a little bit of both.
Yeah.
So anyway, you were reading something yesterday which I found to be a very profound quote, and it was,
I don't remember. But it had to do with, well, we read a lot, you know. I mean, there's a tremendous amount of information coming in. Sometimes I don't remember where I found it, but it was similar to what we say about living life in capital letters.
right,
Right? Not
Yes.
living in small letters, but living in capital letters.
and it was
It was not to live your life in beige.
In beige.
In beige.
I
live
love
your
that.
life in full color.
I love that.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Now, some of you may like beige, and some could argue that my sweater is a form of beige.
A neutral.
But it is it's a metaphor.
Of
right?
course, of course. I think there's an old dirty joke. I won't get into it, but the punch.
Yes, there is. The punchline is.
The punchline is beige. I think I'll paint the ceiling beige. Message us if you want the rest of it. I do know the joke, but I'm not going to say it today. Anyway, so that got us talking about life, what else is new, and just really living with spark and keeping that fire fueled, that flame fueled. We're a bunch of metaphors today. And I happen to be in the bathroom.
Thank you for the detail.
I'm full of laughter today. I happen to be in the bathroom and I picked up a book called Be Happy. And it's the kind of book that you only read when you're in the bathroom. And you do not read it from page 1 to the end. You just open up a page and hope that you're going to get inspired while you're in there for 3.2 minutes or whatever it is. And the quote that I read yesterday, you're very far back.
I am.
The quote that I read
I'm
yesterday
taking it all in.
was, why pick a life partner who's eye candy when you can pick a life partner who is soul food?
It's nice.
And I love that. And I from the bathroom, I yelled out, honey, I've got something to go with the beige conversation. And it's so true though. I mean, living in capital letters or finding the most color in your life, the most texture in your life, right?
Yeah, just having fun. I mean, that's why we're here.
Equating you to soul food. I mean, that's exciting and wonderful and delicious, and that's what it's about, right? That's what keeps it real.
Right.
Right. So we read wedding vows to each other many years ago, and like, how often are you reminded of what you said to each other back on that day? You know, and how do you keep it fresh and exciting and titillating?
And it shouldn't be work.
No.
You know, when it's right, it's not work. I mean, we work together. We met working together. We continue to work together. We've worked together for about 30 years.
Ooh.
Almost 30 years.
Yeah.
And have been together for 22.
Yeah.
22 years.
Yeah,
That's a long time. And every day is so much fun.
It really is.
It really
That's
is.
not a metaphor. It really is. And
I'm so glad you agree.
And you don't have to wake up and say, how are we going to have fun? We just crack open really early. I mean, I'm up very early and I crack open very, very early. And she's not ready to crack until later.
I sit and stare for a while.
But to know that I can crack open, you know, that we can talk, that we can play, that we can dream, that we can scheme, that we can, we
continue discovering and continue learning, because we change over time.
Yeah, and
well, a lot of things change. A lot of things remain the same.
Yeah, well, I love change. I mean, I get excited about shifting and changing, and you do too.
I absolutely do. I do. We moved 3 times in the first 3 years that we lived here.
That's
After
right.
we moved to
But
St.
that was all
Petersburg.
intentional.
It was.
It was intentional.
Yeah, I'd like to stay here a little bit longer. Right?
Yeah, Allie says, I just want to grow grapes.
And see them.
And see them. Everywhere we go, we plant grapes.
Plant grapes. I don't know if I want grapes in Florida, though.
Well, we can
Anyway,
plant
oranges.
It's a metaphor. No,
Yeah.
it isn't. That's true. But change is good, and I think that has excited us. And I think the other thing is that, well, we're both Aries, and we both love the excitement around new and starting things and finishing them, but starting things. So
Creating.
we get whipped up,
Yeah, we do.
you know, and I
get
like
extremely whipped up, and that's another key, because we all get whipped up, right, in relationships, things that are important, and sometimes people don't agree on things. We tend to agree.
until this year.
No, we tend to agree. No, we've argued. We call it creative abrasion.
Yeah, but we argue like we actually like each other.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, we do it respectfully, and we often argue creative abrasion, if you will, over
Well,
the
it's
craziest things.
It's respectful, but it gets warm sometimes. It
Yeah.
does get a little warm sometimes, and that's when the dog hides.
Yeah, we have noticed that our little
He
rat
thinks we're
terrier.
arguing.
Yeah, when he hears a pitch of our voices go up, suddenly, where's Bodhi? And he is in his bed, or in our bed, but and it's just a heightened pitch. It isn't even an argument. Sometimes it's just a very spirited
passionate
discussion. And
we're both alphas, we're both Aries, we both have opinions, but we respect each other. And I always find that when we're discussing, deciding, designing, that as much as I might want to do something in a particular direction, your ideas add to them, and by the time we're done, it's way better than it could have been if I did it on my own.
thank you. And I feel the same way. Nice to meet you.
I'm going to remind you of that.
Give you a left-handed shake. Yeah, I mean, we have always built on each other, right? That's where we are today, why we're here in this house, how we opened our businesses, and it's a good thing.
And we're very different, too. So for people that have, we're similar in philosophy and ethics, but we're very different in style, I would say. Would you agree?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's because your north node is in Virgo or something. You know, and when an Aries hears that. No, but you do have Virgo tendencies in terms of organization and cleanliness.
Well, let's talk about reading books for a second, because
let's digress.
we wanted to share what we're reading. It's not really digressing, because while you were out, before we started, I wanted to, Eileen will talk about the book that she selected, but I just want to show the bookmark that
Eileen selected.
It's an Old Navy Super Cash, valid until 2013. Coupon.
What am I doing with that?
And she folds her pages.
P.S. This is me.
Yes.
Well, let me tell you, I fold my pages. This is not like wearing suspenders and a belt. I need to explain. This is actually where I am. I didn't know that I've had it since 2000. No, that's the date, October 13th.
Mine was better for the purpose of the video. Something it could happen.
The pages are folded over because there are some great points on the pages, and I want to go back to them.
Okay.
Anyway, I have one of the two books I'm reading, because I like to read more than one at a time, is called Unwinding Anxiety by Dr. Judson Brewer. And it's basically, and I'm only, 45 pages in, but it's about mind hacks and strategies for getting on the other side of anxiety. And we spend a lot of time with a lot of people helping them, remember, get to joy. And if there's anxiety or worry or depression or all this life that's in the way, we're always looking and practicing and looking for ways to unwind that anxiety. So I heard about this book from a dear friend, David Garton. Hi, David. I think it's David, who always has a great book recommendation. He's so well read, and he's just a wonderful friend. So I'm reading that.
Yes, and this is the other difference with us. If I can go back to that thread, Eileen reads multiple books at the same time.
I said that already.
Well, I'm saying it now. So there's usually 4 or 5 books that she's reading.
So this is a shout out to our dear friend Christy Hardwick, Reverend Christy, who's living in California right now, and she also lives in Italy, and she and her wife are just beautiful, wonderful friends. And Christy's second book is called To What End? To What End? And basically, and I'm only a few pages in, but I love it already, and it makes you question where you are in life and what you value and to what end. And I'm in love with it already. So thank you, Christy. You can check that out. Christy Hardwick, To What End? An Inquiry. She's a beautiful writer and a beautiful woman. And this bookmark is my friend Carlin Shaw. Hi, Carlin. So see, you're always not only on the mind, you're in the book. So that's me. What are you reading, love?
So I am reading, we get recommendations over time where we see books, and I love books, so I buy them in advance in preparation for needing them at some point.
Yes, she does.
So right now I'm reading H is for Hawk, which is an absolutely exquisite, elegant nonfiction work by Helen MacDonald. She has some other books out as well, and I just began it, and it's absolutely stunningly beautiful, and it's about her relationship and work with goshawks, which I knew very little about. It's very different than working with falcons or smaller hawks.
It's a beautiful cover. Show them your bookmark.
My bookmark is
this is pure her.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Isn't that beautiful?
It's a beautiful bookmark.
And it says courage at the top, and life shrinks or expands in proportion to one's courage.
That's lovely. So every time you open the book, you are inspired.
That's right. And I use it for all of my reading.
Okay.
For every book.
Oh, okay.
Because I only do one at a time.
That's right.
And then the next one that I have lined up, because I only read one at a time, I'm so excited to read this. I don't know whether to wait until the beginning of the new year or,
Well, you'll have to finish that one so you can start.
Yeah, I have that disorder where if I start a book, I must finish it. So I choose my books carefully.
Well, that usually is what happens.
Yeah, that's usually what happens. Anyway, this is James by Percival Everett, an amazing writer. And this is the retold story of the adventures of Huckleberry Finn through the eyes of Jim. And so I can't wait to read it.
Shout out to Tombolo Books.
Tombolo Books, I have their bookmark here. Tombolo Books
That'll be a good
is
one.
a local St. Petersburg bookshop.
Fabulous.
That I could move into.
She could move into. She always says
I
that.
could start at one corner and work my way all the way around.
Yeah, I'll bring the food.
Okay.
All right?
Yeah.
Anyway, that's what we're up to. A lot of love, a lot of excitement. We're sparking. We're reading. We are enjoying the holiday.
Well, we're also reading. I'm reading a lot because I wanted to, for one thing. But the other thing, and I think we might have mentioned this before, I hurt my hip during the cleanup of the two of the back-to-back hurricanes.
Yeah.
Helene and Milton. And I did quite a number on myself, and I have a fractured hip. So,
Unbelievable.
I know. So I've been down for a while. So I've been reading even more.
Yeah, which has been nice.
Yeah.
And I just found out that today is National, what day is it today? And which is really funny because I was convinced, now it is Saturday, December 28th, but I was convinced from the second I woke up that it was Friday.
Mm-hmm.
And I even dressed for Friday. And
what is dressing for Friday?
I don't know. I just didn't dress for Saturday. So I hope you're enjoying your day. I hope you had a lovely holiday. Whatever you're celebrating, you might be in the middle of it. And
happy Hanukkah, happy Kwanzaa,
happy Christmas.
Christmas has passed us by already.
Yeah, but you can still be happy.
Yes, we
right?
can. Yeah, of course we can.
So you take care. We'll be back again with more radiance and more riotous fun.
Mm-hmm.
And it's really good to see you, and it is good to be seen. Take care.